Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, I'm up early on a weekend and I'm heading to a track. Unfortunately, this time I'm not going to be driving on the track. I'm actually heading out to Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for a NASCAR event. Now I know you might be thinking I'm going to a NASCAR race. Not really all that interesting, except for I've gotten a special invitation to actually watch the race from the pits. So I'm not going to be up in the stands. I'm actually going to be physically in the infield, in the pits, checking out a NASCAR race. And they said I can record so you all get to experience this too. Before we get there though, if you like automotive, particularly GTR content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to support the channel, I do have the JD Archer shop. If you go to jdarcher.bigcartel.com, you can see a limited section of hats, t-shirts, and hoodies I've designed that are for sale. But with that out of the way, I will catch up with you once I make it to the track. All right, so here I am in line. I actually get the VIP treatment on this one, which is kind of cool. So yeah, this is gonna be an experience. All right, so we got through that line. I have my credentials, VIP and all that good stuff. So kind of cool. As you can see, I get access to the garage and the pits. So, all right, so here we are. We're actually in the infield at Fontana Raceway. As I said, got my VIP passes. So this is gonna be a fun experience. The first thing we did is we went up to the top to get a good look at the pits. I wish I could have watched the race from here, but this is where people who are sponsors get to sit, and I don't have that money. Here we are entering the pits because this is where we want to watch the race. There was some cars that were doing practice runs. This was for a different series, but it was still great to kind of get an initial look at what we're going to see during the race. Now, we actually had an issue where we were having problems finding our buddy who we were here to see, but we figured out that there was a second series happening, and this is where we spotted the cars lining up. Here's my buddy's car right here, number 34. Go ahead and check out Jesse Iwuji. He's a real good guy. Now this was cool. So I thought we were gonna be watching from the pits, but then all of a sudden Jesse, who you can see up front there in the race suit, actually led us out onto the track. So here are all the cars. They're all staged up and ready for when the race is gonna begin. Here again, this is Jesse, so you can see his face. Like I said, if you watch NASCAR, check out Jesse Iwuji. I'll also leave a link to all of his Instagram accounts in the description down below if you'd like to get to know him a little better. Now this I wasn't expecting either. All of a sudden we're walking through Victory Lane and we're actually heading out to the physical track. I didn't know what was gonna happen here. All I know is all of a sudden I'm gonna be walking on an actual NASCAR track. What was happening here is this track's been closed for 2 years. So this was the inaugural opening to this track this weekend. So this track hasn't been used in 2 years. So it's really an honor to be here.
Good. I'm so glad to be back up here and have the Southern California race fans back at Auto Club Speedway. How about you guys? We've worked super hard. I have to thank the staff here for getting this place back into shape. It's been 2 long years, and I am really ready to see cars go back to racing. We have a packed infield, we have a packed house here in the grandstands, and a great weekend of racing. To Dale and your group, your Production Alliance group, you're going to be here in a second. Thank you for everything that you've done to help us, and I really appreciate the support. So you don't want to hear from me. So with that, let's go racing today. Have a good time. We'll see you the rest of the weekend.
Chevrolet from Carlton, Texas, Jesse Iwuji. Joining Jesse Bishop Brothers from Everett, Washington. Starting 34th, driver the number 78, American Iron Rental and IMS Chevrolet.
Once the opening ceremonies were over, we headed back to the pit area. As you can see here, Victory Lane, someplace we would all like to park our car. And then I thought this was funny. I didn't know they let BMWs into NASCAR, even as a pace car. And of course, more lineup of the cars to see who's going to be racing in this series. Once again, here's Jesse in his car. As you can see, his pit crew's doing some last minute checks and dialing in of his settings to make sure the car's all ready for the 150 laps he's about to run.
To work with Jesse Iwuji, hopping in the Xfinity car.
Yes, they're down there.
Once that was all done, we were funneled back to the pit area where we were going to be watching the race from. Unfortunately, our passes, they gave us a lot of freedom to go into places most people don't get to, but to actually watch the race, we were kind of just stuck in the pits. So here's the pits, kind of cool. As you can see, the tires are all laid out. They got the toolbox set up with the chairs on top so his crew can watch from a better angle. I mean, this is kind of cool. Like you see some pit stuff when you're watching NASCAR, but never from this angle. And here they go. They're heading out to the track to get into position before we get a green flag. And there goes Jesse. And here they are still doing a warm-up lap. I believe the next lap will be the green flag. And there they go. And there goes the BMW. And right away within the first couple laps, we got a yellow flag out for caution. That's why you can see they're going kind of slow. Now this was kind of a sad point. Jesse, for some reason, was lagging behind the whole time. It sounded like he wasn't running quite right. So he's going to pull into the pits, and all of a sudden we see the team run out, and we see this happen. Not a good sign for Jesse. Once again, green flag after yellow. So it's a bit of an update. The guy that we came to support looks like he's already having car problems, already about lap 12. He's already off the track, which is a little disappointing, you know, looking for someone to root for, but we'll hang out, see what happens for the rest of the day. And really fortunate, the car team next to us, their car was running just fine, so I actually got to witness an official NASCAR pit stop. They actually did a really good job. Not as fast as I'm used to seeing, but I think some of these crews are on the newer side. I was hoping maybe our guy Jesse Iwuji would be coming back out, but as you can they're taking the fuel canisters away, so I guess our guy's out for the rest of the race. It's a little disappointing. I was hoping to watch him for the whole thing, and he only made about 12 laps. So, all right. Like I said, a little disappointing, but you know, we'll see how the rest of the race goes. So as you can see, they did manage to get Jesse's car back out to the track, but it looks like there was still a little bit more work that needed to be done before he could go out there and join the pack. Good news, our guy that we're here to support is back out on the track. Now, he's missed a lot of laps, which means he's probably not going to win this one, but he's at least getting points for future in the series. But at least now we have someone to kind of watch it. And here we go again after another yellow flag. There was a lot of yellow flags on this particular race. That was an excellent pit stop. Now here's Jesse's team going in for a pit. Now you can see here there's a guy checking the tires. Now what I didn't know is there's actually two nozzles, and one is for an inner tire and then there's the outer tire. I didn't know that. At this point I got my turn on top of the toolbox, which was an excellent view of the race. You're right there near the wall, plus you're another about 6 feet up, which gives you a great view of the start-finish line. Jesse's coming in for another pit, but this time I get the angle from on top of the toolbox. Apparently though, with this series, they have phases, and there's 4 phases per race, where at the end of a certain amount of laps, they do bring out a caution anyways, even if there's not a wreck. And it kind of forces the whole group to kind of reline back up, and kind of makes it a little bit more competitive and fun to watch. Now this was kind of cool. Towards the end, I realized that if I walk to where the cars pull out, I could actually get right up to the wall. So I wasn't in the pits. Here's actually where cars would enter and exit the track at either the beginning, the end, or if they stopped running, but it got me a great view. Here I actually got to see another pit for a different team at a different angle, real close, so I could see the action. Really funny though is if you take a look at his tire, remember how earlier I was talking about how there's two nozzles? You can actually see the inner tire on that tire that was just completely blown. Now here was a really gnarly crash. So this is getting towards the end of the day. For a race to actually finish out, it has to finish under green, which means if there is a caution flag, there has to be a green flag, that they make a complete lap, which brings out the white flag, which then goes into a checker. Now, if there is a wreck that brings out a yellow flag before it goes to white flag, they have to keep going until they can get a complete lap under a white flag. Otherwise, they keep going. And in this case, we actually ended up with more like around 167 laps instead of just 150 because people kept crashing before the first place car could cross the finish line. And here's that car that you saw that really gnarly crash from. As you can see, he did not do so well. Apparently he spun and crashed into the water barrels right there at the pit. And here we go, green after I think this was about the fourth caution flag. If they can make it all the way around the track without a caution flag, we'll actually finish the race.
Again, can we make it to the stripe, to the line, to the knee?
And there it is. So we definitely got the white flag. First, next one across the finish line grabs the checker, and this race is over. As you can see, there's number 07 there, doing his little celebration dance in his car to celebrate winning the race. And there it is, a day at the NASCAR track in the pits. As you can see, I'm already home. By the time the whole race was done, it was a little too dark to record. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go hit that thumbs up button to let me know. It does help the channel a lot. Like I said, if you want to see more automotive, particularly GTR content in the future, go and subscribe to my channel. If you'd like to support the channel, do check out bigcartel.jdarcher.com. I thank you all for watching, and until next time, forget everything else, focus on the finish line.